Do you want to chat with us and other Team Respawn dangos? Well then join our Discord, link in the video description. Greetings and salutations everybody, I'm Andrew from Team Respawn, and I just did a Halo Wars 2 update video talking about the balance changes coming to the game. That's coming out, still targeted for March 30th. However, today there was something revealed for Halo Wars 2. This is some new content for the game, and this kind of goes back to the post that the developers had a little while ago talking about changes that the fans and the community want to see added to the game, and this is really the first thing that they announced for this. This is called the Yappening from Yap Yap, and it's not just pertain to Yap Yap, this is just kind of what they're calling this. Essentially, all summed up, it's massive balance changes, just completely throws the game out of balance on purpose for fun, and if this goes well, this should stay around as a new game mode, and I really hope it does. So there's a ton of stuff, and it looks like so much fun to play. And they messed with everything here. Everything from leader power, as an example, is Omega Team now comes down, and Mac Blast is an example of that. Or for Captain Cutter, instead of like 3 ODSTs, you get 10 when you activate the power. I mean, there are some insane changes here, and it looks to be like a lot of fun. It looks just to be a laid-back, just have a blast kind of a thing. It really reminds me of Deathmatch from Halo Wars 1, but that was more to an economic change to the game. This is more of changes to the units themselves. I'm going to break down everything here. Strap in, this is pretty awesome, and here we go. So first and foremost, we're talking about global changes in this game mode. To attain power to upgrade your base, you must first capture power nodes. They really want to make power nodes kind of a battleground for the game. And it says every leader has a larger starting army to help fight over power nodes and power crates. Leader powers are all free, and they can be gained faster. Leader power cooldowns have been lowered for every leader as well. 1 minute for active drops, 2 minutes, or I'm sorry, 1 minute for active drops, 2 minutes for unit drops, and 3 minutes for ultimate powers. Generators and power extractors now produce supplies. That's kind of funny. Main base structures provide a small trickle of power over the course of the game. Health for bases, mini-bases, production buildings, and turrets have all gone up. Health for expansion bases have also increased, but not as much as upgraded bases. Units across the board have been altered with new weapon types and damage modifiers. Tier 1 units now do low building damage, Tier 2 does more, the third tier do a lot more, and ultimate units such as Condors and Scarabs are game enders for stalemates. Tier 3 units also cost a very small amount of power. Condors and Scarabs cost 4,000 supplies and 4,000 power, but are significantly stronger to kill buildings faster. All unit upgrades, global upgrades, armory, war council upgrades cost supply. I think what they're trying to say is they cost supplies instead of power here. Global upgrade effectiveness have been increased up to 20, 40, and 60%. Okay, I'm reading 2 lines at once. All unit upgrades have been lowered to 100 supplies. Turrets now build in roughly 15 seconds minus the siege turrets. Shields have not been changed in any way. Unit-specific changes. UNSC Airpad is now a Tier 1 building and allows Nightingales to be built at the early game stage. Snipers and Rangers are both now Tier 2. Locusts and Kodiaks are now Tier 3 units. Flamers, Rangers, and Suicide Grunts now have more units in their squad. Hero units are now stronger versus buildings. Character models have been updated for several units in the game. Here's some playlist and matchmaking UI changes. Now this is pretty funny. It's called Yap. That's ranked 1v1. So on the playlist screen, it'll just say Yap. That's 1v1. Yap Yap is 2v2. Yap 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 is 3v3. Updated deathmatch to be called the Yappening, so it appears under the modes for deathmatch. Updated loading screens for deathmatch game mode, outlining new goals of this game mode. Updated matchmaking background screens to be grunt themed. And they're saying, oh wait, you know, this whole thing gets worse. We're going now into leader specific changes here, and there's a ton. So for the Arbiter, The major change for the Arbiter is the Plasma Bolt now uses a lot more shots. They don't say specifically, but I am assuming it'll be like, 6 or 8 or something ridiculous. Atriox, the Eradication's area of effect is much larger. Anders, multiple waves of arc defense now spawn instead of only having one wave. How cool is that? Here's Cutter. Now, Cutter, I think, is going to be the best leader for this new game mode. Maybe Yap Yap as well, but just listen to what they're doing with Cutter here. This is pretty awesome. Close air support now spawns many more pelicans in waves. ODST now spawns, or the ODST drop it's talking about, now spawns 10 ODSTs instead of 3. That is insane. And I think this is really cool. This is them totally dipping their hand into the creative hat and pulling something awesome out here. Cutter's Spartan Jerome has been replaced by the ODST hero unit from the Operation Spearbreaker campaign, and I absolutely was in love with the hero unit in the Spearbreaker campaign, and I really thought they should have made an ODST leader in the game, but I'm assuming they kind of already had those leaders road mapped out by the time Spearbreaker came out. Nonetheless, this is awesome, and I really love it. Isabel. The Mac Blast now gives additional shots for each point spent on this leader power. How cool is that? It's just like in the Halo Wars 1 days. I can't wait. The Shipmaster. Raid is now 2 points instead of a 3-point leader power, and the upgrades condense to reflect this change. For Decimus, Fury is over 10 times stronger at its highest tier. Decimus, when dropped, now does a lot more damage, and his unit's health has doubled. For Forge, the Scatter Bomb now hits a lot harder than it used to. Consano, when you purchase Heat of Battle, Consano's Kodiaks and Siege Turrets now leave a pool of fire behind that does damage over time. Very similar to what Serena does, but obviously with fire. Colony, it says Colony now has Teleport. I don't know what that means. Is that a whole new leader power? And if so, like, which one did you take out? Does it mean the Hunter Captain in general can teleport? I'm really not so sure, but that sounds pretty cool. The Sergeant Johnson, the Johnson himself. EMP Mac now buffs units significantly when you target your own units. Jerome, Omega Team now rides in Mac Blast down as they spawn, because why not? Enduring Salvo now does damage as if a ship is falling on you, because it is. I love that. Serena, her Warthogs are now, for lack of a better term, Frost Hogs, that now use the Cryo Spray to freeze units. How cool is that? Ice Barriers now spawn more barriers at each tier. Voridus, his hero unit now spawns Infusion for significantly longer amount of time. Pavium, Rain of Fire now spawns more damage, dealing beams at each tier of the ability, and the burnout no longer impacts unit production times. I'm assuming because they go so quick anyway. Yap Yap the Destroyer. You get 6 hero units instead of the 3 for the grunt mechs. He has more turret drops in his turret drops. His starting army is literally just OP. He also has 101 population starting army. That's insane. And Cannon Fodder has an increased capture rate on power nodes to better resemble other units. That's it. That's insane. I think this is going to be a ton of fun. And I know that this is going to be going live around the same time that this newest patch is coming out. Now, granted, we're going to be streaming a good bit of this over this weekend, so keep it locked here on the channel. What I would suggest is you click the bell icon next to the subscribe button. There's like a bell. You can click it. It'll notify you of whenever I upload a video or go live. That way we can have a blast playing this over the weekend. I'm sure. So Thomas is actually moving back to Georgia this weekend, which is awesome because now I can finally see him in person again. But so he'll be kind of out of commission for the weekend. I'm not sure what Ed's schedule is. I haven't found out if Ed will be available this weekend or not. But I'm definitely going to be available Saturday, Friday night, and most of Sunday, I think. But anyway, I'll be streaming a good bit, so we'll get some open lobbies going, get some of you guys in the lobbies with us, have a blast playing this game mode, and just try out all the different leaders and see really what happens here. It's going to be a blast and a half. I can't wait to try this out. Anyway, post your thoughts in the comments below. Are you stoked for this game mode? I hope if the response goes well, this will kind of stay around. And I'm really pumped to try it out. Thanks for watching. I'm Andrew from Team Respawn, and I'll see you next time.